The Steelers are adopting a new training method in Pittsburgh. Robotic tackling dummies developed by Dartmouth College. It's the latest experiment in simulating football moves without player safety risks. Here's head coach Mike Tomlin on the benefits.
The applications we're quickly finding are really endless. It never gets tired. It runs at an appropriate football speed. All the position groups are getting an opportunity to use it. And, it's funny, you just really put it on the field and watch the guys, and they show you the applications. They say, hey, get it to do this. It's been fun over the last several days watching that grow.
I'd love to take one of those in the newsroom and just let it loose.
Yes.
You like that?
I have so many questions. My mind's kind of spinning right now.
Yeah, he was trying to figure it out.
If you get 11 of them, that's huge. It saves players. I mean, health, safety, freshen legs. I mean, it's big. If they can kind of continue the growth.
Segue, this is Late Night Parents. Dr. Michelle and Ted Hicks are talking in absence of Richard Valdez, who's somewhere.
Hi there, welcome to Forward. Come on in. I'm Dr. Nate Favini. I'm our medical lead here.
I still don't know where he is. I'm just not sure, But
Loch Ness Monster. Never seen her. Work silos? They're everywhere. When you use Asana, teams can coordinate work in one place. Visit asana.com to try for free.
our featured guest of the evening is in the queue, Mr. Kevin McLeod from Rogers Athletics. He's the general manager, and their product is called MVP Drive. Why we're talking about it, it's really more about, Michelle, it's about player safety.
Which is a great topic, especially since I am a family physician and then I'm the school district doctor for 2 school districts.
Yes, and the MVP Drive is a tool that was created to provide most realistic playing experience without human involvement. The concept holds true from Pop Warner to the National Football League, as well as any other sport that desires to reduce the risk of injury through unnecessary contact. And our featured guest of the evening, Kevin McLeod. Kev, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I think you summed it all up. I don't know what you need me here for.
Oh, come on.
We've got sales territories open, Ted, if you'd like one.
Oh, well, we can talk after the show. That'd be great, Kev. I'll take on another job.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, welcome to the show. Glad to have you here. We've seen we've posted a blog that was shared with your PR team to ours. And we've seen the device in action. We've seen the device itself with NFL Network. We've seen it from your Stephen Colbert, your YouTube page. How did you come about? How did this whole thing come about?
Well, we were actually very fortunate to be able to partner with Dartmouth and Coach Buddy Stevens. That this concept came, and Buddy had the idea. It's funny, every time we introduce this to a new coach, most coaches will tell you, gosh, I thought of that. I wish I would have done this. But ultimately, Buddy Stevens and the team at Dartmouth actually put the concept together, came up with their initial prototypes, got the intellectual property, and then Rogers Athletic, they reached out to us, and we were very fortunate to be able to partner with them, and now we're the manufacturer and distributor for the device. But ultimately, what Buddy was looking for is, as you described already, is a way to mimic the human element on the practice field without actually having a human do the movement. And the biggest part is obviously concussions, but the reality is, from broken fingers to ankles to ACL, they happen every day in practice across the country. And it's legitimately doing drills that we can actually recreate with a product that is as human as anything else out there, at least at this point.
That's a great thing because a lot more injuries happen in practice than during the actual live game day.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's the art of tackling in and of itself has been a bit lost in the last decade in football. And the more that we try to focus on tackling, the more issues happen in practice. And because there's nothing more realistic than tackling a live ball carrier. And what the MVP drive is able to do, the product itself it weighs 195 pounds, and it will run 17 to 19 miles an hour, depending on what kind of surface it is, if it's natural grass or turf. And the battery technology gives you the opportunity to stop and start very, very quickly, much like you find in Teslas and electric cars now. The acceleration is immediate, so it is extremely lifelike. And at 195 pounds and 15, 17 miles an hour, it'll hit you. So the players have to be ready, and they absolutely have to be able to provide perfect technique to be able to bring it down.
I see here a recent CDC report shows that the amount of reported concussions have more than doubled in the last 10 years. So with this specific device, I mean, how do you get to the point of, okay, it's been announced, but how do you take it and how do you expand this message? How does it become a part of, the NFL every day? How does it become a part? How does it become, mainstream or industry standard?
It's, the biggest part is just getting it in front of the coaches, which the product, we actually shipped our very first commercial unit last week, Thursday. And prior to that, we had it in with 10 accounts across the country, 2 high schools, 5 college, universities, and then 3 NFL teams. And the experience we started to gain there, which is where we started to saw some of the media reports on the device, where it started out as kind of a cute sort of glitchy thing that has now turned into real results. And the way we plan on making the concept and the belief mainstream is getting them on the practice fields across the country this spring in spring ball, and then in high schools that don't have spring practice, we'll start getting it in the fall. And then we have to collect data, make sure that we understand what changes because of the use of the device. Coach Stevens and the Dartmouth group, they've actually been able to document 40% less contact that could lead to injury in their practices over the 2016 football season. So almost half the opportunity for an athlete to get injured in practice, which is remarkable. So those are the results we need to start advertising, and those are the results we need to start seeing across the country, not only in the NFL and collegiately, but all the way down through Pop Warner.
So now, how cost effective is it for, I guess, the Pop Warner going into the junior high school level? Because, we can't compare what their budget is to the NFL or even college.
It's correct. And that's what at $8,000, there's $8,250 is the retail on the product. It's certainly an investment, but the quick answer to you is how do you justify it? And you justify it by, an ACL procedure. One ACL procedure would cost $15,000 to $20,000 on average across the United States. But in the same respect, the device will be used over years as well. So it's not something that you expect to get the payback immediately, but it's going to be over time and the reduction in the potential injury that you'll see the payback. And I'll be honest, we've actually been quite surprised by the number of high schools that have actually ordered initially. We have over 50 different customers that have ordered already, and about 15% of them are high schools.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of that's coming through booster programs. A few of them have been, parents who just saw it as a great opportunity to donate to their high school.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it's a bit of a surprise that it was so high, but the ultimate effect that this product will have on the football field and the practice field certainly makes it worthwhile to a lot of these organizations.
Kevin, question, and it might be more for a Dartmouth style question, but how hard was it to simulate human motion? How hard was it to, for blocking or tackling?
Well, and Coach Stevens will tell you, and he has been very adamant of the fact that this product. So if you go back in history, the very first tackling dummy, for instance, the stationary dummy, the blocking sled, everything that has been innovative in football in the United States has been focused on trying to limit hitting on a player. So following along those lines, the next evolution was to have something that moved. The question was, how fast did it have to go? Where would you sort of dial it in? And the team at Dartmouth and the company that was formed out of Dartmouth, Mobile Virtual Player, they spent a couple of years just dialing in really what would be the optimal product. And then teaming with Rogers 2 years ago, it was taking it that final step and figuring out exactly how it would go. And it all came down to how many football fields we could get it on, how many people we could have tackling it, and just to understand how to get the product out in perfectly.
When you book with Expedia, don't have to go all by yourself. Like a great companion, the Expedia app has your back throughout your journey because it matters who you travel with. Click to download today.
Kevin, we want to thank you for joining us tonight. I know you took might only seem like a few minutes, but you stopped your day to join us. Wanted to know if we wanted to know more information about this, MVP Drive or Rogers Athletics. What's the best ways for us to find out about it?
The best way to find out about the MVP Drive is to go to mvpdrive.com. If you just Google MVP Drive or whatever your favorite search engine is, it'll take you to the website. It'll explain everything you need to know. Videos are there, and then it's tied right into Rogers Athletic as well.
Kevin, I want to thank you so much for joining us, and we will definitely be in touch in the future.
Thank you very much, Kevin.
Oh, thank you. Have a great night, guys.
You too.
You too. That's something definitely I think more school districts should look into doing.
Yeah, definitely. Come on. I mean, it gets to the point of what are you waiting for?